those are really bizarre things. I mean, the way Mayawati is really moving ahead. Uh, is she not realizing that she's playing with fire? She's playing with the future of her own party, which every party does realize that they need a younger leadership, and they need to move forward with a certain plan. Is Mayawati not thinking at all by making these erratic decisions? And as Puneet said, what if she again appoints Akash Anand back, maybe after 2 months or 3 months' time? So, what is she doing really with her party? Is she not
I
realizing
wish
that?
I wish everybody knew about it. Even her workers won't know what she's up to. This
Hmm.
is the problem with this party, where she doesn't share anything with anybody. Now her brother, who's voiceless, against the wishes of the Bahujan Samaj, which want a firebrand leader, aggressive, younger, educated. This is also a quality that they want in their leader, to be educated, who can, call spade a spade. They don't want somebody like Anand, who doesn't open his mouth, who's not visible even. People may not even recognize him if they don't get to know that he's Anand, her brother. So he's basically also involved in all the raids happened at his place. So his brother is close to her that way. But Ramji Gautam, again, I think we'll have to look for his picture to know who's Ramji Gautam. So, if you're looking at the movement, you're looking at the future of the party, then certainly doesn't excite you at all. Last time, there was a reason. She said he's very immature. But even if he was not immature, there was an FIR that was lodged against him. And as BJP is a very, very aggressive party, doesn't spare opponents that easily. So everybody thought maybe she doesn't want him to go to jail, or, suffer like that. But this time, it's it's actually bizarre. It's actually bizarre. It's very difficult to know what she's up to. And as you said, is she not worried about a party? Had she been worried about a party, she would not have allowed the party to go so down. Even today, Mayawati is, and Bahujan Samaj Party is one political party which can get votes even today. They still have control over 9% to 10% votes. It's not without a reason that Rahul is talking about Mayawati. You have the BJP talking about Mayawati, and every political party is quoting her. There is a reason, because 9 to 10% votes, Jata votes, are still with her. They deserted her in 2024 because of her silence on the constitution issue. They expected her to take up the issue, fight for it, and they found her very silent, and she disappeared from the campaigning also thereafter. So actually, Mayawati is worried about BSP. She says the movement will suffer. But is she really bothered about the movement? You talk to old Bahujan Samaj Party leaders who left the party, and I think BSP is one party which split into several groups. Yeah, there's so many Bahujan Samaj parties. You ask those leaders, when they saw BSP, the real BSP going down, they decided to extend support, because they worked for the movement. They were the people who worked with Kashiram for a movement. And when they see all the efforts going waste, they really wanted to that all should come together and revive the party, bring it back in reckoning, which is not happening. So Mayawati's decision, who's taking her decision, is something very hard to understand, because she's a very, very closed person.
No, but
Her
you made an
leaders,
interesting point. You said that who's taking decisions on behalf of
yeah.
Mayawati? Uh,
Nilu, one thing I would
yes.
like to add, surprisingly, people like Rajbhar, Swami Prasad Maurya,
Hmm.
who worked with BSP for years, over a decade, and when they left, they had no love lost for any of these leaders, are very, very respectful while talking about her decision to sack Akash Anand today. I was just listening to them. No, whatever she has done to protect the movement. Of all the people, Raj was saying it. And then Swami Prasad Maurya also say it's a decision of a party. She must have taken the right decision for the movement, the Bahujan Samaj
Hmm.
movement. And
Hmm.
So this is not the language these leaders are supposed to. So
Right.
I do see a hand behind the developments, because Akash Anand perhaps wanted to run the party in a different way. He was impatient, as one could see in some of his rallies. He wanted that we should take on and let's face the consequences, which Mayawati didn't want. I have a feeling there was a difference of opinion on on the way the party should be run, because the type of tweets he used to do earlier, that changed. Now he forwards the tweets. In fact, it was very interesting to read his tweets when he used to talk about Bahujan Samaj. But then he stopped after his sacking. And now, so I have a feeling, which I may be wrong or right, that they had differences over how to run the party. He must be wanting to revive it, for which aggression was required. They had to talk about BJP, they had to talk against other parties, whereas I think she wants to play safe. That's how I look at it.
Right. But as you said, that this is really not Mayawati. It doesn't look like Mayawati is taking decisions. Puneet, who do you think could be taking the decision? Now, time and again, there has been a perception that Mayawati is under immense pressure from the BJP because of the various cases, for which she's under the scanner. Now, has the pressure really grown to that extent that now she started taking erratic decisions? And as Sunita was pointing out, that there are several other people who are trying to justify in what she has done. So, is the pressure really growing on her from BJP's end?
Well, I mean, it is not for me to say who is pressurizing her, but see, you speak to anybody in Lucknow, you speak to anybody even in Delhi, they'll tell you this is the common refrain that Behenji bahut pressure mein hai,
Mm.
you know. So, and then
Exactly.
you make your own, you make your own sense with that statement, you
Right.
know. So who is in a position to create, to exert that pressure?
Hmm.
The cases, old cases, new cases, all of that, and then you have to basically look at how she's been doing her politics. I mean, during the 2022 UP elections, if I'm not wrong, I believe she addressed, I think, 3 or 4 rallies in total. And while I was traveling, see, it's rather interesting, particularly Western UP. Uh, you speak to any Dalits, even, I mean, non-Jatav Dalits, they will still speak very respectfully of Mayawati. They will, they may have their problems with the way the BSP is going. They'll express their dissatisfaction at how the movement has suffered over the last few years, but they will not take any kind of an insult for Behenji. That's one thing that was very clear. But when she started, she came, I think, just 2 days before the first phase of polling in UP. She had a rally, I believe, in Agra, if I'm not wrong. And her entire speech was about attacking the Congress and the Samajwadi Party.
Mm.
Not a word against the BJP, which was in power in the state and in the center, and against whom a sizable chunk of Dalits are rightly or wrongly agitated. So that, coupled with this whole constant refrain about working under pressure. I mean, you can put 2 and 2 together, and I guess you'll know what kind of, or where that pressure is coming from, as you asked.